Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths. You had the experience with this narcissist involved in your life, and you may have been in a romantic relationship with this narcissist that was involved in your life, a friendship with this narcissist that was involved in your life. Could have been a family dynamic that you was involved in with narcissists in your life. Could be a colleague or an associate that you was involved in with narcissists in your life. But ultimately, realistically, in whichever type of relationship it was you was involved in with these narcissists, right? And some of you have experienced it from all angles. Ultimately, you was alone, you know? You could have been in a romantic relationship with a narcissist, but ultimately you was really alone. You may have felt like you had company. You may have felt like, you know, you had someone by your side, but ultimately you didn't really have anyone. They wasn't genuine, they wasn't authentic. And the same goes for friendships, families, colleagues, associates, right? You was ultimately alone in that situation. These individuals, these narcissists that are involved in your life were seeing you as an opportunity. They're opportunists. They were seeing you as an opportunity. You know? Some of them were trying to exploit you financially, for example. Some of them were seeing you as a meal ticket so they could exploit you financially. Ultimately, you was alone in that situation. Regardless of however they were trying to exploit you, right? Or if it was just supply they were exploiting you for. You was alone in that situation. Now, fast forward to where you're at now, right? A lot of you have separated from these narcissists that are involved in your life. You've gone east, they've gone west. Look at how much you've gained, right? Look at how much you've gained in knowledge, in discernment, in your spirit, in your resilience, in your strength, in your mental fortitude. You have gained so much. Now, this is all an occurrence of you being alone, right? So even though it seemed like, I don't know, you were married, or it seemed like you were in a harmonious friendship, or it seemed like you was part of a loving family, or it seemed like you had some real nice colleagues and associates at work, it wasn't really the case. You was alone in a world that the narcissist was manipulating, right? That they had evil intentions towards your life. Not good intentions. They didn't wish well for you, right? Ultimately, you were alone. So look, I know I've gone way out there, but what I'm trying to get at is, if you are alone now, or if you're single now, it's the same thing that you were endured. Some of you were with these narcissists for decades that were involved in your life. You were alone, right? You've actually got more company now than you ever had. You had a parasite. You had a dusty weirdo. You had a real proper dusty weirdo, right? That was in your circle or by your side, you know. They wasn't actually offering you anything, right? So this is why you don't need to despair if you find yourself alone and single now. Because ultimately, you've seen how much benefit you have gained, right? You must have done. You've seen benefit. I'm not disputing the struggle. I'm not disputing the pain, right? I'm not condoning the pain that you went through. But you've actually extracted positivity. You've seen a blessing in disguise. You've extracted some real substance from that encounter, right? The same can't be said for them. They'll be distraught that they've lost a grade A supply, the chosen one and empath. They'll be distraught. They'll have an absence that can't be filled. You've heard me talk about that. They'll go on and try and search for a new supply that they can't, when they can't replace you. That's what their life will consist of. But you've actually extracted some discernment, some knowledge, some wisdom in such a short space of time, right? So if you look at this time now that you are alone as you're cultivating a relationship with yourself, right? You focus on your healing. You keep busy, right? I don't mean keep busy like running on a treadmill, but I'm trying to say keep busy, keep active, keep your mind active, and be aware for, the opportunity that presents itself, where it's going to be your purpose and your meaning. It's going to be something that you didn't necessarily do before. You see, when you was involved with this narcissist or narcissists that were involved in your life, right? They were blocking your vision. They were tainting your vision. You may have been having a job or looking after the family or whatever it was you was doing, but they was blocking your vision. They were blocking your view. They wasn't letting you see correctly. Now they're clear out of the way. They were a big distraction. That's all they was. They were a distraction, right? And it's only that distraction, right? That distraction they were giving you gave you a false comfort, like you had a supportive structure around you, whether it was friends, family member, romantic partner, colleague, associate. It made you feel like you had a supportive structure or supportive network, when really it was narcissists involved in your life and they had no good intentions for you. So if you focus now, right, during this period of isolation, even though you were clearly, you were isolated then, you may have been involved with the narcissist and a whole bunch of narcissists, so you were completely isolated then. It was just, you were under the illusion that you had people that cared about you. But now you see clearly now, right? So don't despair if you find yourself alone now. The reason that why you're alone now is because you don't just let anyone into your life. That's why you're alone now, right? That's why you're alone now. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. Like, you may have had a bunch of friends when, some years back. You may have had a bunch of friends, but now, even those friends, they may not be narcissists that are involved in your life, but they may not resonate with you now because you've advanced and ascended and outgrown them through your experience that you went through. So really, it's like you're keeping your own company because a lot of people don't understand you. And then, maybe they never, now they've seen such a radical change in you, they even feel like they never understood you, So what you should do during this time is actually the same way that you extracted all of the benefit from going a different direction from these narcissists that are involved in your life, or narcissist that was involved in your life. Just the same way you gained all of these blessings, you've seen the blessing in disguise, you've seen that God or the universe sent a divine intervention and spared you and saved you, and you're seeing, you've grown in discernment. You can utilize all these gifts that you have now and focus on something meaningful for your future, right? You can help other people. You have it in you to help other people too. That could be one of your things. Many victims of narcissistic abuse end up doing something that will help others, Like, I've heard of victims of narcissistic abuse writing books. I've heard of victims of narcissistic abuse making music. I've heard of victims of narcissistic abuse doing artwork. They're giving something back, right? It's not always the case, but you're going to find some purpose and meaning. You might find some purpose and meaning in a business, for example, and then you decide to go and help the homeless on, I don't know, your day off. I don't know. I'm just saying, you're going to find something, right? And then you might meet someone or start talking to someone and you help someone out. Like, it could even be on personal level that you help someone out, I've heard of victims of narcissistic abuse starting YouTube channels, right? So all I'm saying is, during this time, you were alone. Some of you are involved with these narcissists that are involved in your life for decades. You was alone the whole time. He wasn't good company. You was alone. You was up against someone that had bad intentions for you. They didn't wish well for your life. They wanted to see your downfall. They didn't want to see you rise. They blocked your vision. They stole your dreams. You know, they're dream assassins. You know, they're like destiny blockers. You know, they stop you prevailing. They stop you ascending. They stunt your growth. That's what they were. So you were alone the whole time, right? You were just under the illusion that you had certified, genuine, authentic people around you. But you've woken up and you have seen how much blessings you have reaped solely by yourself. You've extracted that. You've turned the negative situation into a positive one. That's what the empath does. That's what the chosen one does. You've endured the hardship and the pain and the struggle, and you've flipped it around, and you've actually extracted positivity out of it. And just like the victims of narcissistic abuse that I mentioned, they've actually even extracted further meaning to their lives that will be beneficial for their lives and the lives of others. That's what they've gone on to do. So don't despair. If you're going through a period, it's like a refractory period. It's like a reset period. This healing journey is putting you on the reset, right? There's many victims of narcissistic abuse that end up in the cycle. You know, I've spoke about that before. They go from relationship, friendships, relationship, whatever. They go all over the place, right? And they keep going from narcissist and user and abuser to narcissist, user and abuser. They end up in a cycle of that, right? That can happen as well, but that's because they maybe, possibly, I don't know, but possibly they got overwhelmed with the feeling of loneliness. And this is why I wanted to put this video out there, because I don't want you to be overwhelmed with the feeling of loneliness. I want you to see being alone is a superpower, right? Nikola Tesla, if you don't know, he created alternated current, right? Everyone thinks Thomas Edison, I'm going way off topic now, but I'll put it in. Everyone thinks Thomas Edison invented the light bulb and invented certain electrical principles, or discovered certain electrical principles. But it was actually Nikola Tesla, and they stole his work if you look into it. But he spent a long period of his time alone, right? And he said something, I don't know the exact quote, but he said something like, by being alone, you have good inventions, or like you'll create good, you'll be more inventive, you know? And this is what you have a chance to do, right? Don't just occupy your time with people that are worthless, right? You deserve so much more, right? And if you channel your energy, focus on your purpose, focus on your meaning, right? You might have your kids and your family, and you may have some people around you, but you still feel alone, right? Don't occupy that space with people that are just wasters, you know? At least try and get with people that are on your level to a certain degree, or on your frequency, you know, that you can build with, right? And that can happen in the future. But you might need to just build the foundations first, right? On your end, build the foundations first. You're preparing your world for your future friends, for your future romantic partner, for your future children. I don't know, like you're building the foundations for your future. You might not see it yet. It might seem like it's never going to happen. But through this isolation phase, discovering your meaning, discovering your purpose, you're building from the grassroots level of your world. You're building your world. The narcissist that was involved in your life just wanted to tear it down. Anything you built, they teared it down. They were just destructive, right? But now you know what they are, and you've gained so much. And remember that you was always alone. Even when they was by your side, you were still alone. You was more alone being around people that have no good intentions for you than sitting in your room by yourself, listening to this video. You may feel like you're more alone now. But those people weren't worth shit, right? Those narcissists that are involved in your life weren't worth shit, right? And you, as an empath and a chosen one, have actually reaped benefits and blessings and flipped turned a negative situation into a positive one. You've extracted meaning. Some of you are on the search for your purpose. Some of you have discovered your purpose. Some of you are waiting to discover your purpose. You know, you're all on the healing journey, right? You're heading in the right direction. So look, if it takes a little time that you need to be alone, then just understand this time is what is setting you up for massive success. You don't have the distractions. You don't have these narcissists around you, you know, that are involved in your life, you know, preventing your rise, preventing you ascending, stunting your growth. You don't have these distractions around you. You've got time to really focus and channel correctly, right? And when the time comes that you do meet people when you assess the situation, you have your discernment switched on, you meet genuine, authentic people, then you can be in union, in friendships, romantic relationships, family, whatever, right? Colleagues, associates. Then you could be at union with those people. But until that time comes, then it's better you stay alone than letting some fakes, some snakes, some dusty weirdos, anything like those creatures that you dealt with in your life already. If they're anything like those creatures that you dealt with in your life already, you just need to stay clear away from them, right? So always focus on what's important. And what's important, if you are alone right now, you know, you may have some friends that you're not really in contact with, or you may have some people around. You might not be literally alone, but you feel alone. Just understand that you're actually in better company than when you was with this narcissist that was involved in your life, or narcissists that are involved in your life, okay? And, you know, life's going to open up for brighter days, you know? Just put the work in. Just put the work in. You may not see it, but if you put in the work in your healing, in your growth, in your meaning, in your purpose, you put in the work in, you'll get results. You will get results, you know? You may run into resistance along the way, but it's all a learning curve, you know? I've spoken to many survivors and victims of narcissistic abuse that have gone on to do things in their area, in areas they didn't even think they would be doing, you know? They didn't necessarily think that they would start doing artwork. I mentioned this before. There was someone that was painting wonderful paintings. You know, it had the light and the dark of the light of the empath and the dark of the narcissist, and these real, really good paintings. But it wasn't necessarily where their life was going before. They didn't really know they had that gift, you know? Other people that have started YouTube channels, people that have done music, you know? I remember someone started singing, you know? They didn't know they could sing, and then they started singing. So it can be anything, right? But like I said, sometimes, a lot of the time, it's something you're giving back, right? Because someone could hear that piece of music, or someone could see that artwork and be inspired. Or someone could listen to the YouTube channel and be inspired. Or someone could, you know, or someone could read the book and be inspired, you know. So it's often something that is given back. So your purpose will come to you. It will come to you. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but your purpose and your meaning is definitely going to come to you, right? It's definitely going to come to you. Just keep away from distractions, unnecessary distractions. If you're going through bouts of loneliness or you feel alone, just understand that you have extracted so much positivity from this situation with this narcissist involved in your life, and you was more alone when you was with the narcissist than you are now. Certainly. And remember, the universe, God, is always there by your side. So everything's going to work out fine, and your life's going to open up for brighter days. So anyway, thank you for watching today. please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And if you'd like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently, I've got the secondary channel, spiritual channel. Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member, getting access to unseen videos and video requests, 3-day free trial by visiting ZionMembership.com. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.